Light and peace, peace, light and peace, brothers and sisters. Our topic of discussion today is the summary of education in heaven. OahspeCollegeUniversity did a wonderful job recording what to expect for those who follow the Creator, or those who are faithists, or they believe in the Creator, and for those who are not even who believe in the Creator but they don't follow the rights and they don't follow the commandments and stuff like that, the OahspeCollegeUniversity actually record what happens. And I recently just posted a video about 10 commandments, explaining to the Hebrew Israelites and the Kemetic brothers, or the so-called Egyptian brothers, that what happens to the spirit of the dead after death. Yeah, I'm going to summarize everything to you in this video, and I'm just going to go one by one, just give you a summary. But if you want, you can read this entire saga in the book of Divinity, chapter 3, 4, and 5. If you want to read it on your own, this is just a summary. I previously had done some years back, I did a video about education in heaven. This is just to summarize it so that I can explain this to the Hebrew Israelite and the Kemetic. So if they have any questions, they can come, which is not a problem by me. As long as you guys do not fight or curse me out, we could debate and we could talk about this politely, peacefully. Here we go. So in the first resurrection heaven, the total education you face as a Zarathustran, a faithist, or Israelite, if you follow the Creator, not God now, is 372 years, right? So the first 2 years, you become an Asian. What that means is you become a spirit of the dead. So for 2 years, you're considered an Asian. After that, you become an entered apprentice, where you study a couple of stuff for 2 years. Then after that, you get drafted, or you graduate to Craftsman for 7 years. After that, you become a nurse assistant to the Ashar. Ashar's what we call today receiving angels. And you become a nurse to the Ashar for 3 years. After that, you then become an assistant to the physicians. You see that we have doctors in heaven. Pull one verse or pull a verse in the Kemetic spirituality, or in the book of Extra, or pull any verse in the King James Bible that talk about this. You become an assistant to the physician for 10 years. Then after that, you become a nurse for another 10 years. You see that? Show me in the ancient African so-called Kemetic / Mahat. Because this is what I notice. If you're not an Hebrew Israelite, then you're Kemetic, who follow the Kemetic ways of life. Show me where it says that you become a nurse, a physician. Now, a nurse for 10 years. After that, you become a doctor, which is called physician, for 50 years. After that, you entered factor for 12 years. Then you become a food transporter. This is interesting. You transport food from one region or one heaven locality to another. Then from there, you become a large bodies transporter for 12 years. Now, large bodies, they're talking about spirits of the dead there. Some of them were sleeping, right? Then after that, you become a creative for 30 years. And then you become a use learner. Use will be a land or a spear or a locality in heaven that is dark. You learn that for 12 years. Then after that, you enter college for 40 years. Then after that, you enter architect for 8 years. Then after that, you now build judgment seat and throne builder for 18 years. This is interesting because when you read the Islamic God, Gabriel, that OahspeCollegeUniversity talks about, he knew how to build judgment seat and thrones. And this is why he was able to break free from the Christian God, because he knew how to build a throne. And so what this means is that, and what's so amazing about all these Christian gods, these Hindu gods, this Buddha god, they once followed this educational system. They went through this, because OahspeCollegeUniversity captures and record that they become a lord for a period of time. before they dropped, before they created the Holy Ghost concept. So now after that, you enter school of light and darkness for 70 years. After that, you go through heavenly boats and ships, propeller and a builder for 24 years. And after that, you become an atmosphere. That would be a first, second heaven and earth traveler. So you travel just the heavens that belong to our world for 50 years. And you also travel. This is amazing. So right now, what OahspeCollegeUniversity is saying here is that you travel as an angel for a period of 50 years, just traveling the earth. This is amazing. This is so beautiful. So when you look at the first resurrection education, when you give a conclusion of it, right? So first is 2 years, then after that is 2 years, then after that is 7 years, after that is 3 years, after that is 10 years, after that is 10 years, after that is 50 years, after that is 12 years, and then again 12 years, and then 12 years again, and then there's the 30 years. After 30 is 12 years, then after 12 years, then it's 40 years, then 8 years, 18 years, 70 years, 24 years, and finally 50 years on the first resurrection heaven. And the total of that education that's given to a follower of the Creator is 372 years. Now, I clearly see why most spirits, when they don't want to do this, they're like, what? First, I lived an average life of 80 years where I was doing rites and ceremony. Then I now come to heaven, and you're going to tell me that I need to go through this for 372 years? It's no different when you look at our educational system in our world, right? And you got some people where after grade 12, they don't want to go to college. So they say, nah, college ain't for me, right? Because they don't want to go spend college. They don't want to spend 4 years for college. And then you got some people after 4 years, they don't want to do your master's degree. So this is what OahspeCollegeUniversity is decoding here and also explaining to you without sugarcoating. Then now here's the question. So after this, then what? So OahspeCollegeUniversity records that you now get drafted. If you complete this successfully, you now get drafted to what you call a second resurrection education, where you become an apprentice Louis. I did a video about Louis, or DNA angels. Those are angels that go after humans, couples, and they study them and live with them for, some of them even live with humans for a period of up to 1,000 years, right? Because they're trying to produce the seed to the Creator. So they inspire this couple or these humans or this group of people to higher light, so that when the children get born, they have that seed of the Creator in them. After that, you become an Ashar for 133 years. Ashar is what you call a guardian angel. And I asked this question, where I'm asking this question according to the educational system of the King James Bible as a Christian. Where does it talk about guardian angels? Now, Kemetic might come saying that they have it. Yeah, but how do you become a guardian angel? This is the question. Now, OahspeCollegeUniversity is telling you that as a human after death, as a spirit, as an angel in heaven, you become a guardian angel. After that, you become an Ashar. When you study through Ashar, you go through this education of an Ashar, which is equivalent, is in English is called receiving angel. Then after that, it talks about enter the chapter of the primary soul. Now, what I noticed is that OahspeCollegeUniversity did not give a definition of how many years. So I don't know, but if someone know about that, let me know. Then after that, you become a messenger. Now, this is where you see a lot of Christians and Hebrew Israelites say, yeah, I'm a messenger of God. Yeah, I'm a messenger. Yeah, they talk about this, but you got to go through the educational system for 100 years as a messenger. You see that? Then after you become a messenger, after that, you now get drafted to become a marshal, right? An angel marshal. And then after that, finally, OahspeCollegeUniversity records that you now become a Lord. This year Lord. It's a big argument among the Christian community because they have turned the Creator into a Lord. But OahspeC clearly tells you that Lord is just a title bestowed upon an angel. You see? But people argue that out, saying no, that Yahweh is Lord. Yeah, right. Yahweh ain't no Lord, and if Yahweh is Lord, then it's an angel. Simple. Okay. Now, just to drive the point. So here is OahspeC giving you a summary of the education of those who follow the Creator and who are faithists. They give you the first resurrection heaven and the second resurrection heaven. So the second resurrection education, when you calculate it, it's a total of 699 years. This is deep. Now, this is just an estimate because when I was reading it, it doesn't really tell you how many years you serve as a Lord. You see? So just to give you a breakdown, a summary of it, an apprentice Louis for 200 years, an Ashar for 133 years, an Asaph for 66 years, a messenger for 100 years, now a marshal for 200 years. I don't know how long you become, but OahspeC does talk about how to become a god. And I did a video where it tells how long it took this angel just to be nominated and chosen to become a god. So here is the after death destiny of humans, of we spirits, when we become a spirit. And you will not see this recorded anywhere in one of those ancient texts. And if it's recorded, right, there's no clarity, no the full explanation of it. And the book of Divinity chapter 3 the book of Divinity chapter 3 and 4 and 5, chapter 3 and 4 and 5 gives you a breakdown of this without sugarcoating. Now, another question might come, because this actually did come up, where the diva angels asked God, if this person is not a Zarathustra or Faithist or Hebrew Israelite, then what? Then they said they gave them an education for non-Faithists. But what they mean by non-Faithists is that they believe in the Creator in their heart. Now, when you really look at this, I actually consider myself that. I just believe in the Creator. And all those, I don't. So I fall under this category when you look at it, So what happens to those who just believe in the Creator, but they don't follow no rules and regulation? They don't follow the 10 commandments. They don't do nothing, but they believe in their heart that their faith is, and they don't practice no Zarathustra law. They don't follow no 10 commandments. They don't follow no Moses law, according to the OahspeC, right? And it says you become an Asian for 6 years. After that, you become an apprentice manufacturing general labor for 12 years. And then you enter school for 30 years. Then after that, you're restoring nursing and caring for Drudras for 30 years. And after that, you get drafted to College of College of Creation. This is amazing. So you actually create stuff for 50 years in heaven. Wow. And then after that, you now become bridegroom of home. So when you summarize the total of what a non-faithist go through, will be 128 years. This will explain why most of these angels in heaven and spirits going back to our was saying, nah, man, I'm not going to go through this. Nah, I'm not going through this. Then they become a familiar spirit. And then they start teaching the doctrine of reincarnation, because they don't want to go through this educational system. Because this educational system, when you look at it, you could spend up to between 1,000 to 2,000 years. Because keep in mind, if you don't pass as a food transporter for 12 years, you got to repeat that. You see? And then if you don't pass enter college for 40 years, you're going to repeat that. This system is the same thing that we go through in over here. And you people don't want to accept the OahspeC. OahspeC is telling you what to expect after death. Right here, without, sugarcoating. Brothers and sisters, after this, I am going to address the Kemetic / Mayati belief system. Because I want to know what happens to the spirit of the dead after they face this so-called Anubai and Osiris or whoever God is sitting on the throne after this spirit of this follower dies. So I am posting this challenge to brothers and sisters of the Israelites and the Kemetic. This is a perfect video. Watch it. If you have any questions, please feel free, add it to the comment and I will address it. Light and peace, brothers and sisters. Bye. Light and peace.